Okay, welcome everybody to Power Hour for Memorial Day. Let's see here. We are on day 148. We got 217 left to go in the year, and we've got 3 days until the end of the month. We've got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. First thing I want to do is a reminder for folks if you didn't see, because I know a lot of people are out and about today, but I'm going to be doing a Zoom presentation on Wednesday night. So that's going to be on the 30th. That'll allow us to get with people that we have as prospects that come to the presentation online on Wednesday. We'll be able to talk with them on Thursday and overcome any final questions that they might have, any objections that they might have, and get them enrolled in your business so that we can finish out May with the best month that we've finished out. So that's what the goal will be. There's also going to be a training that's happening on Wednesday. It's not really a training, it's more of a taking action session that Ms. Jamie Lemon brought to my attention. She wanted to be able to do that. So that'll be something that is available for everybody to be able to do. And as we always do with Power Hour, I like to start it off by seeing if there's any questions first. And for anybody that might have, John, you've got one. Go right ahead, sir.
So, Casey, as a support for Jamie, is there a way we can reschedule or push it back so that we can participate in both?
Good question. And so I actually brought that up, Jamie. Here's my intent on that. If you've got guests, invite them to come to the Zoom. You don't need to be there with them on the Zoom unless you just really, really want to. But let them know that you're going to be in a training while that's going on. I think that'll be positive for them to know what's going on. Let them know that there is training that is available, and let them see that you're being efficient with that time. So that's why we're going to do it at that same time frame. So if you've got people that you've gone through the steps and you've got, close to 48 hours to be able to go through that with people, let them know, get them inoculated, get them invited, get the rapport, get the peak, all those good steps, and then send them to my link. And then everybody that's a business partner, you guys head over to Jamie's. And then if you don't have anybody for my presentation, then that's a really good reason why you want to be on Jamie's session so that you can take the action to start filling up that pipeline because it's not an instantaneous turnaround, as you all have seen that have been in this for a little bit. There's steps and process to go in there. So thought about that, John, and just with the timing of it, we wanted to keep that and establish that, and then that'll work out good for people to be able to be which one they need to be in. But does that make sense, John? Good with that?
Yeah. What my goal there is that even, when you do these things for Linda and I as well, I mean, it's good for us to rehear stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to pick one or the other. I mean, I really, if we have somebody that goes to yours, it makes us feel good that we're there supporting whoever we're bringing to the table. And then as well, I know Jamie's kicking this off and to give her support.
No worry. And I spoke with her because I perceived that I didn't want everybody to think like, why is Casey stepping over Jamie on that? And that wasn't it at all. And I actually spoke with Jamie today to make sure she, oh, absolutely. Yeah. If they've got people and they want to go on that, absolutely. They're doing the action that needs to be taken. And if they don't have anybody, then come to my thing. So, with it just hitting at the end of the month, that's on that one. I'll also record mine so that you've got that. So it'll take care of that part. And then you can have that if you'd like to be able to review that. And absolutely, come into the presentation, seeing it, you're always going to get, hopefully, something out of it, hear something different, hits you different. So I'll record it and make that available for anybody that wants it. And then hopefully it'll be a good one. And if it is, then that's something that y'all might be able to reuse as well until we get all the technology set up to have those running automated wise.
Well, we just got to remember all your little secrets.
Absolutely. I love it. Good stuff. All right. Good question. Any other questions anybody might have for me? And we got 2 pages, so I don't see everybody right away. So if you have something, just unmute yourself and ask away. Everybody happy with their business coming into the end of the month? A couple people going up, some people. I know Miss Sherry Passmore, she's running, that's for sure. She is so stinking close to Ruby. And I know Miss Jamie Lemon, she is very, very close to Sapphire. Karen White is very close to being car qualified Sapphire. So we got a lot of people right there getting real close. A lot of folks real close to Pearl. A lot of folks real close to Jade. Huge number of people right close to Garnet, especially on this call. So, don't feel like this month is over. This month, man, you make stuff happen in the last 3-4 days of a month. So it's all mindset from here on out. It is purely getting your head wrapped around. You are literally, one person can come in, and then before that day's out, they can have 3 more people in. And just boom, like that, you got 2,000 points of volume in your organization. And then all of those people the next day go out and get 1 or 2, and now you got 4,000 or 5,000 points. And don't feel that can't happen for you. If you believe it can't happen, I can guarantee you it won't. But if you believe it will happen, then it will. And that's just how it is. And then you go out and you take the steps to manifest that. All right, let's see here. Could you hit on closing? Sure, be happy to hit on closing. So here's how I do closing, okay? And ideally, if you have a prospect directly, you want your upline senior business partner to be doing this part for you. But if for some reason, it doesn't work out, or you want to be able to do this for your people, I'll give you how I do a close. And this is being recorded, so I'll go through it quickly so that you can play this back a couple times if you want. But what I do is you always start off with, once they've seen the information, you verify that they've seen the information. Okay, and so you follow up with them and say, hey, did you get a chance to review the material we sent you? Or did you get a chance to attend that webinar? Or, hey, I saw you at the webinar and I wanted to chat with you. Or, hey, we just finished the presentation here with a 2-on-1 with some folks, and we're face-to-face. Now I want to move out of presentation mode and into the closing step. So the closing step has a couple of parts to it. It's got the overcoming objections part, and that's a possible. It doesn't mean that they're going to have objections, but it happens. And if it is, you want to be able to overcome those, and then you want to be able to get into the enrollment step. Okay, don't call it sign up. Use enrollment. When you sign up, people think, mortgage, they think car payment, they think negative connotations to let's get you signed up. Oh, no, that means a monthly mortgage. And then, I'm not wanting to do. And you'd be surprised. It's the game of inches. So enroll, not sign up, is one of the key things. But always have a positive expectation that they're coming on board. Why in God's name would they not join you in business? So have that expectation. Just positive, know it's going to happen, and then almost shock, not rude, but shock, like doesn't comprehend, does not compute, when they're not ready to enroll right away after seeing what we show them. And that's how I operate, because I truly am like, how in the heck do you not see this? So what you do is, when you get done with that, did you get a chance to review the material? Yes, wonderful. So I wanted to go ahead and check with you. Are you ready to get started with us? Do you see yourself partnering with us? And then wait for the answer. Don't say that and then throw up all over them again. Wait and hear where they're at. Because if they say, yes, I am, then you say, great. Are you in front of a computer? Or let's go ahead and take care of this right now and get your enrollment knocked out. It takes just a few moments. And again, don't keep talking. The term shut up, take my money applies. Okay, so when people are ready to enroll, let's get them enrolled. I have literally seen people keep talking, and they literally talk them out of enrolling. And it is the most sickening feeling when you watch. It's like a car wreck that you see happening and you are powerless to stop it. It is terrible. So don't be that guy. When they're ready to enroll, let them enroll. Let's go. I've seen it happen where people are ready to enroll, and then the business partner that's brought their prospect to the table that's ready to enroll, they'll say, well, don't enroll right now. We need to make sure you go ahead and get the product and try it out and see. Folks, you're being completely selfish at that point. You are projecting what you needed from a proof perspective onto your prospect and saying that they must go through the exact same steps that you did to be able to enroll. And how dare you take this away from them and delaying them from doing this? When they're ready to go, let them go. When they're ready to enroll, let them enroll. Okay? There's a lot of people that they need to see certain things. And when they see those things, they're ready to go. Some people don't even need to see a full presentation. I've seen people say, no, you need to see the whole thing. Say, no, they're ready to enroll. I don't need to see the rest of the presentation. Where do I sign up? Well, we don't call it sign up. We call it enrollment. Let's do it right now. So do that. All right. So then after you ask them that question, they say, no, I have some questions. Okay, fantastic. What's your first question? Blah, 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 blah. Whatever that question is, it means that they haven't seen all the proof that they need to see, or they think they know what they got to do after they say yes. That's typically what it's going to come down to. They have an objection. They might have a very, very simple question to ask. So give them the answer if you know it, if it's an easy one. Ideally, again, your business partner, your senior business partner is handling this, and they're going to take care of that for you. But if not, then say, good question. I just got started, not quite sure of the answer. Let me get the proof person that understands this, and they can answer that for you. 1 second. And then you go through your chain of solution until you get somebody that can answer that for them. Now, other times what's going to happen, they're going to say, no, I'm not quite ready yet. I'm still not about this, that, the other. I say, hey, no worries. Let's do this so we can kind of get a feel on where you're at. I send them through this process. I say, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not interested whatsoever, and 10 being, holy crap, let's get this thing started right this instant. You're not a 1, you're not a 10. Where would you say you're at? And they're going to give you a number. Whatever number they give you, great. Fantastic, wonderful, positive. If they give you a 2, great. Hey, it's better than 1. So it's a good thing. And then what you do is the next question is you ask them, it's like, look, money's not everything, but it's a good barometer on, if something's going to interest somebody, if they're going to get into a business like this. So how much would you need to make? Now, not, end all be all goal here, but what would you need to make kind of in the beginning for this to be worth your time? How much do you need to make per month? And then shut up. Don't say $500 or $1,000 or $15,000 or $2 million a month. Don't say any number. Let them tell you. Because whatever you're going to say, they're going to say, yeah, that. And you found out what you want, but you haven't found out what they want. But how much do you need to make per month? I need to make, I don't know, $2,000, $500. You'll hear somewhere between $500 to $2,000 the majority of the time. Sometimes you'll hear $5,000, sometimes you'll hear $10,000. Some people say $25,000 a month. Whatever that number is, great. Let me ask you another question. How many hours per week would you invest in this business to reach that goal of, and then spit back whatever they just told you? How many hours per week would you invest to earn an extra $1,500 a month, $500 a month, $25,000 a month, whatever number they set? And then wait for the answer. Too many times people get in there and they start trying to project onto them how many hours, and they kind of try to lead them down a path. Sometimes the people just don't get the question. They're going to say, $10. How much a month do you need to make? Well, just $10. Cool. All right. Let's figure out how many hours you're going to do. So figure out what that number is for them. And then how many hours that they're going to spend on it. And they'll stumble a little bit. This is good. It's causing them to get into their brain and get themselves in the mindset of being in this business. It gets them to make an act. It's all theory until all of a sudden, it just got real. It's about me being in this movie here. What do I need to do in this movie? And it starts really figuring out where your prospect is. So again, scale of 1 to 10. Second question, how much do you need to make per month? Third question, how many hours per week are you willing to invest to earn an extra however much money per month? And then they tell you. Then you say, great, let me repeat that back. Make sure I heard you, because people want to make sure they're heard. So you're willing to give me, on average, about an extra 10, 15 hours a week to be able to earn an additional $1,500 a month. Yeah, that's right. Cool. One last question. How many months are you willing to sustain this to reach that level? Because, nothing's going to just be instantaneous the next day. So how many months are you willing to sustain that effort of 15 hours a week until you can reach that level? You're setting expectations. You're making sure that they're not, doing some stupid stuff in their head that I'm going to make $5,000 a month. I'm going to put in 1 hour a week, and I expect that to be in about 2 weeks. Probably. Now, maybe. I never say never. I just say not very likely. Okay. based on, and I use the income disclosure document. So when they tell me I'm willing to sustain this, and it's usually going to be, 2 months, 6 months, a year, maybe 18 months on the outside of it. But let them say and sit there if it takes 5 minutes for them to get you the answer. And if they say, I don't get it, repeat the exact same thing back to them. Don't give them an example. Don't tell them a number of hours. So once they give you that, then you repeat all that back again. Let them know you're paying attention and make sure you are actually paying attention. So I'm willing. So you're telling me that you'll sustain an extra 15 hours a week for 6 months to earn an extra $1,500. And if we don't make it by the end of 6 months, you're out of here. This was the dumbest idea you ever had. Well, no. I'll give it longer. Well, then what's that number? Oh, 12 months. You'll go 12 months to be able to make an extra $1,500. And when you do that, it makes it get real in their head, and it makes you question what they said and see if it passes their sniff test. So once I get that back to them, then I pull up the income disclosure document. Make sure you have that available. Okay. I have it printed and laminated so that I got it with me wherever I need to go. It's also on my laptop. So if I'm giving a presentation, that's the last slide that we can get to. So I make sure that's there, or I have access to the Googles, and I'll go out and do a Google search for Kyani income disclosure. And it's a PDF file that's sitting there. And you look on there and you see the amount of money they need to make. Oh, $1,500 a month. Guess what? You need to hit Sapphire. Look how long it takes the average Sapphire to do this. It takes 3.7 months to do that. Okay, so 3 months, 3 weeks, and you have hit that rank on average. Now, you might be above average, below average, but you're saying you're going to give me 12 months to do this. It takes the average person 3 months and 3 weeks to do it. You tell me. And what that does is it gets them in their own head that they can do this, and it shows them what has already been done. If somebody's just getting ready to go run for the first time and they really don't know what they're doing, and you say, hey, how fast do you want to do a mile in? I don't know. I mean, I probably want to do it in about 20 minutes, Okay, cool. Here's the numbers. Let me show you what everybody else has done. The average is about 12-minute mile, and you're wanting to do it in 20, and you haven't even practiced it, so you can make that. Some people come and say, I want to do it in 4 minutes. Great. How much training are you going to give me to be able to hit a 4-minute mile? It is doable. See it right here. We have records that show that it's doable. Can you break that record? Possibly. I don't know. You tell me how willing you are and how bad you want it. And then what you can do is you can help them out. Now, on that income disclosure, I tell people it's somewhere between 5 to 10 hours a week that somebody's giving on average to be able to reach those goals. And I feel that is very accurate. And then after you show them that, then I go back to them and say, now, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say your number is now? Chances are very good that that number has now gone up. And if it has, then you ask them, are you ready to get enrolled, or did you have any other questions? I'm always trial closing. I'm always giving them the opportunity to get enrolled. I'm always got a pen in my hand, handing it to them so that they can get enrolled. Okay? All right. Did that answer your question on how to do a close? Cool. Anybody got any questions on that? First time you do it, is it going to be awkward? Yes. So how do you prepare for this? Tomorrow, pretty good chance you're going to be stuck in traffic at some point, going back to work in your blood-sucking job. Okay? If you're in a car, you've got a lot of audience members around you that you can practice this on, and look them straight in the eye when you're parked in the fast lane on the highway that you drive to work in, and look at the person next to you. And I mean, keep eye contact with them and just have the whole thing. It's a lot of fun. It's really fun to do on the freeway. So that's how I practiced this back in the day. Okay? Good question. Very good question. Next question. Who's got one?
Easy.
Yes, sir. What you got, Van? Congrats on the customer today, man. Making it happen.
Yes. The question is, the customer asked me, she lived in the apartment, right? So when they went sending out the product to her, and if she's not home, where they gonna put the product?
Same place they put any other package that she might receive from any other carrier. It's up to the shipping company that delivers to them. So wherever FedEx or UPS or I don't know what's used in Canada for that.
Okay, so they don't just live right in front of the door apartment, right? For somebody else. Yeah.
It depends. Again, it depends on what is customary at that location. So I don't know the answer, but it's not
Okay.
a Kyani. That's not a Kyani thing. That is a carrier thing on where it's going to be sent. So, for instance, at my house here in Houston, they leave it right on the front door, and that's how they deliver packages out here. It's not a Kyani delivering it to my front door. It's I don't even know who sends it, if it's
Yes,
FedEx.
at my house too, they deliver it right in the front of the door,
Yeah.
but the apartment is different, right?
Yeah,
Apartment you
I
gotta
would
ring the
imagine.
bell.
I would
Yeah.
imagine so. I would imagine so.
Okay. So if I wanted to find out who do I contact, shipping.
Yeah, yeah, not Kyani, but contact whoever it is that ships things to that apartment complex.
Okay. And the other question is, the customer today, I was amping is for her granddaughter, not for herself.
Oh
But
wow,
then end up she ordered for herself.
nice. That's awesome. So she did it for both.
No, it's not yet. It's for her. Her granddaughter have 9 different things of health issue
Oh wow.
that she counted out to me. We were talking today. I just met her like a week ago, and I overheard her talking about her granddaughter being sick, right? So then I'm like, oh, I don't have her contact, so I'm just gonna wait till Sunday and then see her and then get her contact. So I don't want to talk about the business at church before service, so I talk about after. So I got her contact yesterday, and I said, well, I give you a call tomorrow. I want to show you something that able to help your granddaughter. She said, okay, perfect. So that we connect today, and then went to her place and show her the short video.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, she ordered for herself. And her granddaughter is not living here. Her granddaughter lives in Vancouver.
Wow.
And she had 2 granddaughters that have problem, and also her daughter have a problem. And then she said she's going to visit them in September. I said, well, you know your granddaughter have health issues, so you want to get to her as soon as possible to help her out, right?
Yep.
She said, yes, I would contact my daughter and give her talk to my daughter, and then get her number to give it to you, and then you can talk to her.
That's awesome, Van. That's awesome. So what I'm hearing is that you were very observant, you were listening, you were tuned in, and then you approached somebody that you were not very familiar with, but you were doing it to be able to help the granddaughter. And here you not only have a customer, you've got a shot at, if I counted all those up, like 6 or 7 people that you're going to be able to help. And that's just so cool, man. That's just so cool. I'm very, very happy for you. I'm proud of you too, man. That's next level work right there.
Yes. So do I do it right? That now I don't know how to get to her daughter at this time. So how do I get her talk to her daughter to find out about this thing that would help them?
Yeah, same way that you did. Go back to her afterwards. Next time you see her, don't make it awkward, but let her know. It's like, look, I want to help your entire family. That is my mission. That is why I do what I do. Make no bones about it, man. I mean, go all in with it. People say, well, I don't want to sound pushy. Bull crap. You're here to help some people's health. You're not here trying to make money. You're here to try to help their issues. Now, are you going to make something after? Yeah, absolutely. But that happens afterwards. You're here to help them first. So when you've got that mindset, man, you go all in. You go back to her and say, look, my mission, and tell her your intent. Tell her why you're doing it. Because people, man, they'll put a big old story in front of why you're doing something. And it's based on what's going on in their head, not what you're doing. It's so funny. I mean, people got so much nonsense. That's the old terrorist I talk about, hanging out on the shoulder, bumping their gums. You can have 3 people hear the same thing, and based on what their terrorist is saying to them, they're going to interpret the situation in 3 different ways. It's based on them. You can't do anything about that. What you're doing is based on what you're trying to achieve, which is to help those people. So go all in and don't give a damn about what people may or may not think about it. You know what you're in it for. That's all that matters. And go out there and persuade them that they need to try it and explain to them why and tell them why you're doing it. You bring the passion that you always have. That's why she's your customer right now. And and that family will continue to be your, and here's the deal, or they won't. And that's cool too. You know, you did what you're supposed to do. You did your part. And the better you get at your parts, you could be the best in the world. There's people that are the best in the world at all kinds of stuff, and they still don't hit it out of the park every single time that they're up to bat. And that's okay. But you're preparing yourself as best you can and go for it, man. Just go for it. So you know how to do it. You just did it. So go do it again and ask about them and say, here's what I want to do. I want to help your entire family. And you talked about this person, this person, this person, and this person. And when you do that, they're going to see that you are listening. They're going to know that you're understanding what their family is. That's going to mean something to them. And that's what it's about. That's building rapport. They're going to feel that. They're going to understand that this isn't just a transaction you're trying to do to make money. They see that you're in it for them.
Yes. Yes. We were there for 2 hours, listen to her telling me her problem. And then I said, okay, well, you have that many problems. I give her the packet of Sunwise. I said, okay, before you drink your coffee, open this up and drink it.
Yes.
She said, right now? I said, yes, right now. I want you to taste it and tell me how you like it. And then she drank it. She said, oh, I like it. And then, okay, I'll show you the short video.
Yep.
After that, she said, whoa.
Yep.
And this and that. I said, okay, done.
So what Van did is he built some major rapport. Some people will say, you spent 2 hours with somebody just to get a customer? No, he spent 2 hours to impact somebody's life. He didn't give a damn about getting a customer or how long it's going to take. All right. Oh, well, I can't save this person in 14 seconds, so screw them. I'm moving on to the next person because I'm in it for me. That's not what Van just did. Van's going to sit there and keep giving them CPR for as long as he has to until his arms wear off, and then he's going to jump up and down on them with his feet to give them CPR. That's how Van rolls. Van's going to help them. It doesn't matter how long it takes. He's going to do it until. That's called commitment. I love it, man. I love it. Mm-hmm. So now when you do that, here's the payoff on what we get to do. And it's going to transition into what I want to, some of the notes I prepared for tonight is that what we do and why we do it and what we get for doing it. Van's there helping somebody. Van sat there and listened to a lady over coffee talk about what was going on in her life. Took 2 hours. He's got a customer. Do you think he's going to have that customer for a very, 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 very long time? And every time that customer comes on board and purchases at least one of those products, that's going to be $15 that Van's going to have coming in to the bank account, U.S. Van's in Canada, so it's going to be a little bit more in Canadian dollars. But that's going to be an amount that's going to keep happening for the effort that he spent today, 2 hours of it. And he's not done helping that family. And I bet, let's say he gets 5 customers out of that thing. That's $75 that he's going to have coming into his bank account for the investment of time that he offered. And that's going to keep paying and keep paying and keep paying when Van's on beaches around the world, because he doesn't have to go into work anymore because his business has continued to grow and because he's in it for helping people like that. As that continues to happen, he's got a residual income that will continue to occur. And y'all might question that, but the question would be is, are you coming off of this product? If you're not coming off this product, guess what? They're not either. And the numbers bear that out. It's not just a statistical glitch for the people that are on this call. This is the numbers. I mean, we're talking 80+% when somebody comes on this product, they don't leave. That's insane. That is absolutely insane on what we have. So hats off to you, Van. That is extremely good, man. I can tell you are fired up and you got me fired up.
And then what we, right after I showed her this short video and she saw that and she said, okay, how do I get that? Do I get it to you? I said, well, I don't carry any product. I don't carry any inventory. You order to the computer, to online, not to me. And then she said, okay, well, how do I continue get it every month? I said, hold on, hang on, you're going too fast now. So I said, okay, I'll set them all up for you. So and then we all set it up and then go with the Prime and all those shit and everything. And then she have one of those old bank card, doesn't have security code in the back. And then we wouldn't go through. I said, and then I had to call Jay to ask him about it. How do I deal with that without the security code? So apparently you cannot order anything without the security code.
No.
So I took her to the bank and transfer money to the different bank account, and then come back to her place and finish it off.
That's making it happen right there, folks. That is making it happen right there. Way to go, Van. I love it, buddy. I love it. Well done, sir. Very cool. Very cool.
That's
Excellent.
my question.
That's your question?
Yeah, that's my question. That's it. I'm done.
I love it. Good stuff. Very good stuff, man. I appreciate the story, and I do. I really do mean that. I love hearing those. I love the excitement for it, and that's what this is all about. That's why I want everybody to. We're getting a little sloppy here on page 2. I'm seeing a lot of people don't have their video on. I want everybody's video on, if you guys don't mind. You might be in a position where you're not clothed, or you're in the bathroom or something like that, then leave your video off. But other than that, go ahead and turn it on, because I want everybody to see the human element on what we've got going on. And it's very powerful. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's the entire difference maker in what we do in this business. It's the people business. I want everybody to see each other. I want them to see the lives that are going on and how we're impacting it. It means a lot for that. So thank you guys for doing that. And thank you again, Van, for sharing. That was absolutely awesome, sir. So here's what I want to, let's see if I'll give another shot at questions. See if anybody's got a question here before I jump in. See a lot of new faces on here. I love it. I see Kelsey, and is that Olson there? Very cool. Let's see here. I see Caden. We got a whole new batch of folks coming on. Mr. David Jones blowing it up. Awesome. Very good. Good to see you, Kyle, in California. Morgan. Wonderful. Excellent. Love to see everybody on here. Okay, so here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about this business. I want to frame this up for everybody, because sometimes we can get in the grind of this business. We can get into the day-to-day and we lose sight on what we have. So what I want to do is I want to take those glasses off, the lens that we look through. I want to set them down, and I want to put a new pair on you guys, and I want you guys to see this through a different lens here, so that you can understand what we've got our hands on, the thankfulness of what we have. So here's the first thing is, you guys that you are all in business. You guys all have your Kyani business right now. And if you have another business, any of y'all that are entrepreneurs and have their own business, chances are you probably have employees. And nothing against employees. I'm an employee. I'm a pain in the butt to a manager. I know this. I make it a point to be a pain in his butt every day, and he'll tell you that. But, there's a lot of headache and heartache and pain that comes with having employees. I want you guys just to take the first moment, and if you're taking notes on this, on distinguishing things of what we do and other ways of making money out there, I want you to understand that we don't have employees. That is huge. We don't have accounts receivable. There's not a Quicken account or some QuickBooks Online or something that you need to do with a lot of paperwork and an office manager that sits down and keeps up with all the accounts receivable, all the people that need to pay their bills and that type of thing for getting the product. There's no accounts payable. There's not somebody that you got to pay money to be able to have your business with a bunch of inventory. There's not a system to have to get set up to be able to do the accounts receivable and the accounts payable. That's a cost right there in and of itself. There's no inventory of raw material that you have to be able to make this happen. There's not a factory that you have that you got to make sure that the blueberries are coming into, and the red raspberries are coming into, and the broccoli and the kale and the spinach. You don't have to deal with any inventory of that to make sure, hey, do we have enough lumber coming in to make the furniture? No, you don't have to mess with anything like that. You don't have to store all of that. You don't have to have a facility big enough to be able to handle all of the servings of this that we give out on a global basis. You don't have to worry about the sourcing of the material. Where's this stuff coming from? Do you have lands in the tundra where the wild Alaskan blueberries are being grown? Do you go out to the volcanic areas and find the noni fruits? Do you do any of those things? Do you have to worry about working with the fishing industry that's going to go out and wild catch the wild Alaskan sockeye salmon? Are you dealing with any of that? No. Do you have to have any contracts in place to be able to handle any of those things? Do you have any land cost on where your facility is? Do you have any regulations? Imagine the regulations that you'd have to go through to have this product and where it's sourced. It's not like all this stuff is just down at H-E-B at your grocery store around the corner that you go pick it up. No, you got to go on a global basis to be able to find these materials to be able to do that. And the regulations of getting that from one place to another. Think about all of the different regulations that would be there. Do you have to deal with GDPR? All of y'all got a whole bunch of emails for your privacy settings and things like that. Did y'all have to deal with any of that? No. I got to tell you, the number of meetings I've been in my corporate America job for GDPR, I mean, no offense to anybody from the European Union, but holy crap, I wouldn't do business in the European Union if I had to deal with what we're dealing with to be able to make this thing happen. It is insanity on what you have to do to be able to just have that. Are there any, did you have to pay an electricity bill for your business, for your facilities? Just think about what that is. Just dealing with that, figuring out the rate that you'd have to go out and do. Do you have to deal with the water bill for that? Do you have to deal with the broken toilets at your facility? Do you have to go out and deal with employee taxes or workman's comp or the laws and regulations of all the different states and countries that people are employed to be able to make this happen? Do you have any computer systems that you have to maintain? Do you have any servers? Do you have any network issues? Do you have a problem where somebody goes out and cuts the line for the internet line that goes into your facility to make your website work? Do you have to deal with any of that? Are you ever going to get a phone call for that? Do you have to worry about any records retention for any of the business dealings that you have to do with this thing? Do you have any equipment costs that you have to put together to be able to get all the materials together to be able to combine them in the little package of Sunrise? Do you have any consulting services that you got to deal with where you're going out and finding the best people to be able to help you with what you're doing? Do you have any facilities that you have to put together to house all this equipment? Do you have to deal with OSHA? Do you have to deal with contracting other people to come in? Do you have to deal with, fixing the parking lot at your facility and having it re-blacktopped? Just a little basic stuff that people have to deal with on a daily basis. Do you have any insurance claims when a storm knocks out a portion of your operation that you got to deal with them and the overhead that that's going to take? Do you have a special printer to be able to print the little label that goes on the nitro? Do you have, or the glue that be able to adhere that to the bottle? There's people that have to deal with all of those steps. Do you have any negotiations that you have to do with any of these people and a legal team to be able to handle that? Do you have to worry about the containers that they have to have that are temperature controlled to be able to get the product? When they catch those fish, what do they have to do with them? They got to get them to a facility. How are they going to transport that? How are they going to keep that at the right temperature for an FDA-approved area? Do you have to deal with any of that? No. Now imagine doing this in one country. And now imagine doing this in 62 other countries. You don't have to deal with any of those things. Making sure that the shipping facility and the carriers are in sync for being able to get this to your customer from when they push the button after you drive them to the bank to help them get a new bank card and listen to them for 2 hours. And when it's all said and done, having the absolute no thought, no concern that when you push the button in 4 to 5 days, that product's going to show up. You don't have that concern. And then when it's all said and done, all the things that you have to do, the parts of what you do compared to that list that I wrote down as I was thinking about this today, the part that Van did compared to all the other things that have to happen. And Van is a part of the field of the marketing team of Kyani, us, the business partners. And we make 55% of what comes in. Does that not blow your freaking mind? We are business partners with this organization that takes care of all those other things. We have one little thing, two things that we do. We gather a handful of customers. Is what Van did today hard? No. But does it take a little bit of time? Does it take a little bit of getting out of your comfort zone? Yeah, it does. Does it take going the extra mile and putting them in the car and taking them to the bank to be able to help them through a transaction because he's not worrying about the $15 to $25 he's going to make on the transaction? He was doing it because he's going to help another human being. And when you do that and you get paid 55% goes to the field, folks, that is stupid insane. There is no other business like that. And then when everybody else, and that's right, Linda, when the average is 10 to 15% in the industry on what most companies are going to pay in a similar situation, where's the other percentage go? It goes into the owner's pocket usually. What do these owners do? They don't take any money out of the company. Why are they doing it? Because they're doing it for the right reasons. Why? Because they get a whole group of people like us who goes out and makes a pledge to the potato packs. And when we do that, it helps further their true underlying mission on what they want to achieve, which is to feed starving families all across the world. That's why they do it. Caring Hands is the heartbeat of the company. That's why they do it. They pay what they pay to attract the talent that they attract, to get people to walk away from a company where they're in the top 0.1% that they walk from that to come do this. Why? Because this has never been done like this before. That's why they do it, because they know that those people are going to give a lot to potato packs, because they're going to look at it and they're going like, wow, this is pretty cool. I can do the same thing I was doing and get paid 4 to 5 times as much. Yeah, you know what? I think I might be able to scrounge a little and maybe donate a little bit to a couple potato packs. $200 a piece, cool. We'll take a couple. Maybe we'll put a comma in it. That's what they're doing it for, because they can go out and feed a lot of people, or they can attract a whole bunch of servant leaders like us and help them make a stupid amount of money and feed a whole lot more people than what they can do by themselves. You don't have to quit your job to be able to do this. Imagine what it takes to go out and start your own business. You can't do that without quitting what you're currently doing to be able to go all in a risky move, because 95% of businesses are going to fail, whether that's yours or an MLM company or anybody's. That's just the numbers. You don't have to do all that to have a chance of getting out of that blood-sucking job that you're not thinking so much of excitement of going to tomorrow. Now, maybe you love what you do. You're in a very, very small percentage of people that do. And if you do, good on you. So I want to put this into perspective for you on what we do is kind of the easy part, like in a big way. And then you've got a done-for-you system. You've got a system where you literally need to figure out your why. You need to come up with a list of people, be observant like Van was today, and you need to build rapport with them. Van didn't do a whole lot of talking to that lady today. She did most of the talking. He did most of the listening. Van was not in it to make a sale. Van was in it to share. That's what it's all about. And by doing that, Van's got a residual income stream that's going to go on for a very, very, very long time, well after the 2 hours investment of time that he had today. You don't have to go back and get another degree for this business. A lot of people go out and they'll try to get another degree before they'll switch careers. Now, do you need an education for this? Absolutely. That's what you come here to. That's why you come to Power Hour. That's why you go to regional events. That's why you're going to homecoming. You're going to homecoming, right? Put your hand up if you're going to homecoming in Chicago. Cool. Very good. Good. If you're not, you still have time to be able to do that. Okay, we got a couple weeks here. You got, 2 weeks to be able to get there. Make plans for that. You can still get there. There's people driving all across the country to be able to make it to that event. Get a flight, whatever you got to do. But continue the education. Make sure you surround yourself with people that have done what you want to do and get as much information from them as you can. And that doesn't mean just me. There's a lot of people. They got a lot of information out there. Get that from everybody. YouTube is your friend. And run it through your filter. Look at the process that we have. Now, there's nothing wrong with the process that we have. I guarantee you that. But some of the finer items in between there, find what works for you. The big steps are the big steps. Those aren't going to change. But how you go about doing that, I might not resonate with you. If I don't, find somebody that does. But just make sure you get your education. Make sure you do this. Don't go out and try to reinvent the wheel. That's why you paid your money, because you get a system that comes with that. Now, here's the other thing is, any business, even though the business of what we have, we don't have to go through this whole sheet of stuff that I wrote down. Everything that I just mentioned was on this page, and then it carried over into this one too. While you don't have to do all of those things in this business, you do have to take ownership of your business. This is you incorporated. You are partnered with one of the greatest, if not the best company I have ever seen. And I have seen a lot of them, and I've been a part of a few. But I've never been partnered with a group like this. But even then, you're partnered with them. You have a part to play. That's why we're called business partners. That's why Kirk Hansen renamed and imagine going through all the documentation that exists for this company and changing the word distributor to business partner. Imagine what you have to do with all of the documentation just to do that. And guess what? Kirk did it. Why? Because it's that important to him. We are business partners. He takes care of all this, so we don't have to. What do? We do our part. What's our part? We take ownership of our business. We go out and we build rapport with people, find out a lot about them. And then when we find out what's ailing them, what they need help with, we can go out and offer them something that allows their body to fight off some pretty incredible things. If you haven't watched Dr. Andreas's video, his first video in his series of Kyani, folks, you got to go watch that. That thing is so freaking awesome. I love that. I'm sure somebody will post that for me as well. Sherry's going to race whoever's thinking they're going to get there. It's going to be close between her and Karen, I bet. But okay. Watch that video. So when people say, is it going to help me with this or help me with that? That's not the right question. But that said, I can tell you from my own personal observations what I've seen with people. And I'm recording this and I want to make sure I'm in compliance. So hear me very clearly. This does not heal these issues. But what it does is it gives your body the fuel to do what the body does. And I've seen people that had these issues, and now these people don't have lupus. They're not dealing with Crohn's, diabetes, ADHD, blood pressure, cholesterol, back pain, fatigue, arthritic issues, swollen feet, fibromyalgia, sleep, anxiety, depression, PTSD, sexual function, energy for the grandparents to play with the grandkids, heart health, and cancer. And they're going to pay you 55% on top of all that. Holy crap. So take ownership. It's a business. Track your numbers. How many people did you reach out to this weekend? It was a holiday weekend. Ran into a lot of people you might not normally see. Maybe you hung out in the backyard and you didn't see anybody. That's cool, but track what your numbers are every day. Every day. It does not take very long to be able to grab your phone, and as long as you've got internet connection, I understand some people are at places where they can't do that, but I also know there's a lot of laziness in the world too, and it's easy to take your business for granted. Why? Because you don't have all of this stuff to deal with. If you had to deal with all this stuff, you wouldn't take your business for granted. If you have the amount of money it takes to be able to make this little paper happen, and if you start your own little business out there, you're looking at $75,000 on average just to get a little thing started. When you got that amount of cheese invested, you make sure you pay attention to those things. When you got to invest $5.99 to get started, no big deal. And I promise you, if you got that mindset, your business isn't doing what you'd really like it to do. So that's why I want to put these glasses on you. That's why I want to change your outlook and your view as you're just getting started in this business, or maybe you've been in for a while and you need to be able to look at this differently. You know best. This might not be resonating with you guys at all, but it will with some people. It will absolutely resonate with some people in your organization. So you got to be able to track your numbers. You've got to be in this business for others too. People will sense that. We are in the people business. We are in the relationship business. We are not in the blueberry business. We're not in the sunset business. Kirk and Jim and Carl are in that business. We are in the people business. The people business is different, but it's still some things that you got to do. Track your numbers with the people that you're interacting with. And when your reason you're doing that is so that you can identify trends. You can identify, are you doing it right or not? If you have a new ad campaign for your business that's out there, you're going to track your numbers. You're going to see how many people came in and how many people talk about that new advertisement so that you know you're spending money in the right area. You're going to track your numbers. You need to track your numbers in this business as well. You can't be apathetic either. It's easy to get into this and not have any success right away and to become apathetic, to not really care that much about it, and you just start going through the motions. I talked about this a couple weeks ago about being a settler. You can be a settler where you show up to all the stuff, but you're apathetic to actually doing the action. Doesn't matter how many power hours you come to, if you don't put it into action, you are wasting your time. You're not wasting my time. I'm going to do this regardless, but you are wasting your time. And you're also missing out on a huge impact that you could be making with others. Keep it about the others. If you find that your business, and this might sting a little, and as y'all know, I'm okay with that, but if your business isn't growing, you might need to look internal and make sure you're focusing in the right area. If your business isn't growing, you might be thinking about you more than the others. Because if you're thinking about the others, you're going to get after it and your business is going to be growing. Van's business grew today because he was interested in helping others. Now, if you want to argue with me on that, that's okay too. I just point back to my original statement. Who are you in this for? Make sure that's really, really, really good. It's easy to let yourself down. We do that all the time. But when it's about somebody else, you ain't going to let them down. Let's say this, it's a whole lot harder to let them down than it is to let yourself down. Also, don't forget, you're not in sales. Van was not in sales today. A sales manager comes up to Van the salesman, and Van spent 2 hours for that. The sales manager is going to have a fit. The sales manager is in it for the transaction. Van's in it for the impact. When you're in it for the impact, the long-term result of that is 10 times greater than what a single transaction is going to be. And in our case, it could be thousands of times greater if you're just looking at a dollar perspective. Listen and ask questions. Van did a fantastic job about that. He just kept going and going and going with them, or she just kept on going. It's easy to want to stop them because you're trying to talk about the thing that you want to talk about. Let them go. Put your finger over your mouth and shut your own mouth if you have to. I got to do that myself. If you ever see me doing that, that's me having a chat with myself of shut up and listen. It's really easy to want to be able to offer your 2 cents. When you're doing that, you're formulating what it is that you want to say at the expense of listening to what they're saying to you. When you're asking those questions, you're looking for the answers to a couple of things. You're still wanting to drive this. Now, some of you can just go out there and talk to people all day long and not move the needle. I'm okay with that, but you're not doing your business. Keep asking the questions until you get the answer to, do they want more health? Do they want more wealth, more time, more beauty, more skincare, or contribution, significance, charity, being able to help others? And you keep asking those questions. Now, when you hear the answer to that, you need to verify that. Oh, John, hey, real quick though, before you jump into the rest of that story, did I hear you right? You need to get Susie to college? Oh, interesting. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Well, I'm asking because, is that truly a thing that you want to fix? Well, okay, I figured it was. I can tell you're pretty passionate about it. Well, the reason I'm asking is because I've got a guy that can help you with that if you're truly serious. Yeah, I can get you the phone number. In fact, I'll do you one better. I'll put you all together. I'll introduce you. Yeah, I can't do it right now. He's super busy, but yeah, let me set that up for you. If you're serious. Now, here's the deal. I don't want to waste this guy's time. This guy's kind of a big deal. Yeah. But absolutely. He loves chatting with people like that. If you're serious. Okay, man. Yeah, I'll make it happen. Cool. Anyway, keep going. What were you saying? Tell me that's not a real conversation that can be had all the time because you were listening, and then all of a sudden you heard one of the things that you can help with, money. Didn't say Kyani, didn't mention blueberries, didn't mention 63 countries or any of the stuff that they go into to make it all happen. Not one bit. I'm in the people business. I'm finding out what John needs. And I'm going to show him a way to be able to fix that. And I'm going to do it in an efficient manner so that it duplicates. And then after that's done, that's the done for you system. I already started the edification of the leader, and I've already set the possibility in his mind that we're going to be able to send that over. And then I'm also tying his desires right up front to Kyani. I've already started the process of finding out what it is. If you do this right and you get to the launch step, and in the launch step, the first thing we do is we figure out the why. If you're doing this right, you know the why before you even invited them to join the business. Before you even put them on the phone with somebody, you already figured out their why. You asked enough questions to find out that they want to get Susie to school. Now, is it the why? Maybe not, but it's one of them, or they wouldn't have brought it up. So if you do it right, you know what their thing is. You should be able to say that when you're introducing your prospect to the leader and saying, hey, Casey, this is John. John's a big fan of getting his daughter to college. He wants to be able to make that happen. And he wanted to see if you might be able to explain how we go about doing that. And every step along the way, we're tying this to John's why. We're showing him what it's going to take. We're going to explain to him that Ruby equals his daughter going to college, which is something that he wants really bad. And when he wants to do that, he'll stick around and learn the skills. And more importantly, he'll go out and take the action. What's your why? Do you have it nailed down? Are you taking the action? Make sure that's crystal clear in your head. Make sure you're doing the action. If you have any questions on what that action is or what you need to be doing, get back to your basics. I can just about guarantee if you've been to more than 2 of these, then the only issue right now is you're getting in your own way. You're making this harder than it needs to be, or you're not following the training that you received. You're doing it your own way. Or you're not taking action because you're afraid of the steps that you need to take. Or you're in this for yourself. Those are usually the main things. There might be another issue, and don't get bent out of shape. This is a group of 41, so I might not be hitting everybody square on, but I bet you I hit 95% of you just then. And if you've got something that's not that and you want to discuss it, please call me up one-on-one. Have a chat with me. Let's figure out what that is that's holding you back. Let's figure out what it is. And I'm pretty decent at helping on that. I'm not saying I'm bulletproof on it. I'm not saying I'm not going to be able to help you every time, but give me a couple cracks at it. I bet you I get you there. But that's going to require you taking action. And you've got to want it bad enough to get over your, because I'm not going to beat up on you, but you are going to be afraid to ask that question. Some of you are afraid to turn your video on. So I want you guys to get out of your own head. I want you guys to get after this business because I know you joined for a very important reason. I want you to get back to that. I want you to understand what you got your hands on. I want you to be grateful for that, thankful for that. Here's the other thing I want you to do. I want every single one of y'all to go buy a potato pack if you haven't yet. And if you have, look back and see if you might be able to do one more. One of the things that I'm going to implement, I don't know when yet, but I wrote this down over the weekend. I heard a pretty interesting statistic, and I'll end with this. 650 people die every hour on this planet because of starvation. 650 people an hour. That's stupid. And it's easy to get apathetic to, oh, we can't solve that. I'm not going to say the word that I wanted to say right then. I'm going to be nice tonight. but it started with B and it ended with a T. It's not bullet. Okay. So we waste 40%. 40% of the food just in the US. I know we got folks all over, but this is a statistic. 40% of the food is wasted, thrown away in the United States. Isn't that ridiculous? So we got a little thing called Caring Hands. We got a little thing called potato packs. So one of the things I'm going to do, I haven't figured out how I'm going to implement this, because if I do implement this, and I think I got to have a way to inspect it, and I got to have a way to be able to do it, and I need to have the overhead for it, but I'm willing to do that because I'm going to do my little part, and I'm going to do this for a reason of I want to impact that. So we're going to have the admission to Power Hour moving forward in some fashion. Again, not got the timing down, but it's going to be a receipt that you have donated to the potato pack. I don't want anything. I just want to see that you guys donated to the potato pack pledge. Now, if you don't want to do that, that's cool. You don't have to come to Power Hour. But hopefully you're getting value out of Power Hour and you want to, and maybe that's going to be the thing that gets one more person fed. And I would venture pretty strongly that the vast majority of people that are on here right now are already doing that. Raise your hand. I know we got some people that just joined too, and I'm not beating up on you guys because you guys are still trying to figure out where the bathroom is and what time we eat lunch here. So that's okay. But how many people, raise your hand if you do the potato pack pledge? That's awesome. Very cool. So that's one of the things that I want to be able to have. And it's mainly for our new folks coming in to make sure that we don't miss anybody is why I'm doing it this way. But I think it has a good ring to it and a good tone to it. So I'm working out the details on that, but I wanted to leave you guys with that. Go get a potato pack if you haven't yet. It's going to help not only your business, it's going to help everybody in your organization's business, but more importantly, and the only reason that you should be doing it is because it's going to feed somebody. I couldn't find the couples pack with the potato pack. If you can't find that on there, I'm not sure. They change the store up every once in a while, but call in for that, and I bet you they'll be able to point you in the right direction. Or if somebody has that page, they can point that out in the Power Hour thread. Okay. Let's see here. I got some comments. Make sure I didn't miss any questions, and then we will wrap it up for the night. Yep, no worries if you don't have a camera on your computer. I appreciate that. Yep, Ed understands having your own business and the joys of it. Cool. Miss Sarah liked it. 20%, that's right. Thank you, Sherry, for posting that out. Declare your event in the future. 100%. All right, very good. Well, I hope tonight was valuable to you. I know this was a little different than what some of mine are. I'm going to get back into more of the basics starting on Thursday, especially since we're going to have a big influx of new people. So we'll start another round of going through step by step, drawing back on the screen and some things like that. But folks, push hard, push really hard over the next couple days. You can make some huge gains, or you can say, I'm going to get started on Friday the 1st, and then I'm really going to push it then. I suggest that you don't. I suggest that you do it right now. Don't hold anybody until Friday, unless they say Friday is the earliest I can join. Get them in as soon as possible, because that will give them more time to be able to get more people in for you in the next month. A lot of people think, oh, well, I'm going to hold this until the 1st, and that will help my business. No, it's slowing your business down. You're screwing with the compound effect by doing that. So, I mean, if we're talking, put them in where they fit in, folks. Don't ever hold anybody. So do that. Make sure you go look at your own personal. So if you've been in for more than a month, make sure that you are qualified. Make sure that you have put in your purchases to make sure that you've got 150 QV for jade and above, or 100 for garnet and below, to make sure you're qualified. It's a sickening feeling when you see somebody do a lot of work and then they forgot to make sure that they had their own product and they hadn't got enough customers to be able to cover that. Or just go get 2 customers, and that will work as well. So, and push like crazy, folks. Push like crazy to get folks onto the webinar. That's been posted out. It's also going to be coming in text messaging for anybody that subscribes to the text message. So if you'll send TF Houston to 46786, then you'll be able to get on the Houston, Team Fusion Houston. And I don't do that just for Houston. I put any big event or big information on that thread. So again, that's TF Houston to the number 786, and then you'll be able to subscribe to that. But it's information that I send on the Kiani Local, and it also gets posted on Power Hour, but just another way to make sure you don't miss out on anything. So that'll be the detail for Wednesday. We'll also have the information for the activity session that Miss Jamie Lemon's going to be running on Wednesday. And then let's get as many people as we can for prospects onto that Zoom so that I can get them into your business and show them the details. And folks, I appreciate every single one of you guys. Make sure you get your Potato Pack pledges in as well. I'm going to unmute the line so everybody can say good night. And thank you all very much for joining on a holiday, and enjoy the rest of your week. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Yeah.
She's very receptive to like me.